Alright, looks like we're up. That, that is okay. Alright, so I believe it is almost upload time or thereabouts. So I think it's you know what? I couldn't get a video finished for today. Um, by the time I realized that I had to actually make a video, um, it was already way too late, and yeah. And with this time normally being reserved for getting it exported and out for YouTube and looking okayish at least, I had to. I was like, well, I couldn't be bothered to really deal with getting something edited real quickly. Even though I have been able to do it in the past, you know what? Um, yeah. So, off camera today, I went ahead and I kind of built a bit of the world for my flight simulator game in Game Builder Garage. I've been doing this for the series. If you've been watching my entire series about this Game Builder Garage flight sim project that I've been going on about for like 10 episodes, so about 2 months now. Yeah, I've decided that it's kind of been a bit too long, especially for a game in this level on this exact platform, and I think that it's it's about time that we put the finishing touches on a few things. So I definitely wanted to use this stream as a bit of a recap of what I kind of did today, um, what I did off camera, and I've been kind of saying stuff about wanting to go off camera for quite a while, and do go off camera and do my own bit of world building, and it was only until today that I managed to do it. So yeah, that's fun. All right, so what I built is the entire highway system. As you can see, I initially had it all the way going around and circling around this little city area. So this way we have a bit of a circle around it, a little beltway, if you will, and kind of goes off. It just goes off into the. It kind of goes off into a bit of a straight line through to the other part of the highway that exists. That goes off to a bridge and then out to the world border limit thing. Um, I added a few hills, and that brown thing over there is supposed to be a mountain. I couldn't find gray because I was going to use gray because gray, would look better for rocks, but Game Builder Garage for some reason doesn't have gray as one of the color options. I may go back and try and draw up a texture real quickly, maybe a small texture that looks rocky in nature, and just use a variety of different colors and make a rock texture that kind of looks accurate for mountains. Also, I might make a bit of a, I might kind of make it a little more, have a bit of more of a gradient, and maybe up here put a bit of snow on it because I do want to kind of sell the idea that this is a very high and tall mountain. Um, but yeah, and then we've got all the way up to the north where everything is kind of ending. And it's pretty basic. As you can see, we've got our little airport down there. Add a little air traffic control tower, and there's a little taxiway and the runway. I finally painted those things by adding a texture to it. Um, as you can see, there's a bit of a weird curve to if I could get OBS to show off this little area right here. This area here, you notice how it's a bit of a weird curve. I'm probably going to. My plan is to put some kind of bay here or something, kind of like a beach or something like that. Put a bit of water there. Add to the bit of diversity of the land. Um, yeah, and if I kind of go back to like normal size, like I had it, let's just go back here. Um, as you can see, I kind of built a little bit of a river into a lake. Oddly enough, the this little this little this little change in the little river thing that I built, it's supposed to be on this side. In fact, this is supposed to be a bit of a lake that it goes to. That's a river, little bridge. You could probably fly under this. It would look cool. Um, but yeah, so that's a few of the choice things that I've been doing in this little game of what I'd call it. So I'm probably gonna do a lot more off camera, but I'm also gonna probably focus more on texturing in the next while. So, anyways, yeah. So that's most of my stuff, and yeah, may add a second runway in the future. I don't know, because I kind of want to make this a bit of a bigger airport than it already is. But with Game Builder Garage being very limiting on how much land you actually have to build everything into, yeah, it's a little bit hard to deal with and make a diverse world that has a lot of things to go see and do things in. So, have some stuff that has a lot of open secrets, basically. Like like places that you might not have seen before. Like having something with an almost infinite replay value. It's pretty hard with Game Builder Garage, as one could imagine. But I'm trying. And you know what? It's turning out pretty okayish. What I might do is I might make a expansion where if you go off to either one of these four corners, it will spawn you at the same altitude and position, or at least same relative position, into another part of the world that is kind of symmetrical with this one, or kind of similar to this one, but is a continuation. Um, it's going to take a lot of work to program in, but I'm pretty certain that I can make the world kind of be a bit bigger. Hell, it could even probably give it that weird look that Minecraft has, where it's like, where you can literally, um, where you can have chunks just load in. But I think we're gonna have to save that for the future. But otherwise, so yeah, bit of the work today. We're probably gonna do a bit of basic stuff with modifying these, adding more of these hills into the game, and I'm probably gonna do a lot of that cloning right now. And like I said, I'm not too happy with the lack of the gray color in it to get that rock effect, but um, so instead what I'm probably going to do is I'm going to add in textures and stuff for all that. But anyway, so yeah, so texture this small will be used because we don't really need something that big, and yeah. Because let's see, we've got colors like this. We'll reset the palette probably once we're done. Probably go with a color like that, probably more of a yellowish tinge. We're probably going to go for that whole gray with a bit of a line thing. A little bit of blue, a few random colors on, like, random colors of, random things. Let's see. Okay, we've already got that color. Alright, so those are the four colors I'm probably going to go with. They look pretty good for mountainous feel. Probably go with this one for the backing. And then I'll just use this weird airbrush one. Draw random looking lines. Kind of like that. And, probably give the illusion that it was some kind of naturally made rock formation. There we go. Unfortunately, I'm not in the most mountainous of areas, so I don't know if this will actually end up looking kind of like real mountains. I kind of wish there was like an airbrush thing, kind of like it is here, but instead of having it look like it does, where it's like, where it's just like, it's not that great. Instead, having it where it just generates like random noise for the rock formations. Um, I kind of wish they would allow you to import things from other things like because one of the assets of Minecraft would have worked out well. I think like the andesite, the andesite texture would probably work out great for this thing. Maybe even the cobblestone texture, because what I'm trying to do is I'm gonna use it like really tiny, like small, and I might try and replicate it. I don't know. I may even see if I can just kind of go line by line, kind of do it like kind of do it like how a printer does, where it's done like pixel by pixel, line by line. Because after all, these things were pixel art generated anyway. So from far away, it kind of has a little marbly look to it. Um, let's just slap it onto one of our mountain rocks, as I call them. They should appear on all sides of the box. So that'll be okay looking. So yeah. So the game is starting to shape up by quite a bit. Pretty happy with the progress, and I'm definitely hoping for the release of this in like a good while, like maybe in like hopefully maybe sometime like the end of this month, next month probably. Depends. I'll have to see where I get taken, where it takes me, because there are still a few notable bugs. Like ever since I added the much better selection method, as I call it, into the mix, like the one where it allows you to select between three different things, some things have started to interfere with everything else, and it's caused a few problems. So, alright, so we're back in here. We've got our weird rocky pattern. Um, it's very repetitive looking from afar. It kind of gives that look a little bit, yeah. I can see a bit of that in there. I don't like how the brown still shows up in the borders, though. At like the edges, because that would be, because it would be cool to look at. It would be like, because it would be cool if it just continued right on these little chamfered edges that they put here. I don't know why Nintendo had to put that in, but they did apparently. Not the happiest with it, but I mean, we could probably. What I'm probably going to do next is I'm probably going to add very long boxes, and the objective of those is to simply get them to be a little smoothed. And I might even add some things on top like snow and stuff. For color, I'm probably gonna go with white on this top one. Not orange, but white, because the thing is that I do kind of, because because I still want to sell the fact that this is like the tallest mountain in the game, so I do want to put some snow down at least in the top, because the lore of high mountains, where it gets so high it starts to snow. So yeah, So that looks pretty okay. But anyways, so yeah, it's been pretty good. Um, so yeah, and as for the little thing that I've been having about content, um, probably after this series, I might go into Game Builder Garage because there's been a lot of things that have changed in, well, outside, not Game Builder Garage, but PC Building Simulator because there's been a lot of things that have changed there. So that'll be cool to watch. And even though nobody really watched these streams, which you probably should, um, yeah. Anyways, so I'm pretty happy with this, with the way this is. So yeah, it's looking okay. I've got to do more work with the city, because we've only got these two buildings here, and we need more buildings. We should probably get a parking garage or parking lot for this airport. We should also make a neighboring airport for just so we have a place to fly to in the end. And I may even work with a bit of stuff in plane mode, like the thing to tilt the camera when to kind of tilt the camera when turning, because for first person mode, I might even have to program in a first person mode in the first place. And yeah, there's a little bit of work that still has to be done with the underlying code, and a bit more that still has to be done with everything in general, but otherwise I'm pretty happy with how things are turning out. So yeah, I guess if you liked what you saw, there's always a like button. If you disliked it, well, yeah, that exists for a reason, I guess. But too bad they removed the count on it. And if you liked it so much, you should probably consider subscribing, or if you're at least new here, because then you'll just see newer content from here. And yeah, I do a diverse number of topics on this channel, so don't be surprised if you just find Game Builder Garage one day and find stuff about audiovisual or even electronics equipment on the next. So yeah, gonna probably leave it off here.